Hi, welcome to another Mayor's Report. This is the sixth time I've done the Mayor's Report for one of my favorite programs, which is talking about the St. Patrick's Day Parade in the village of Mamaroneck. What's most interesting, I have Jenny Maroney with us to my left and across from me with a beautiful bow tie, Michael Murphy, excuse me, Michael. And it's even more important now. When this program started out, we had Mike Hines on here, who was a contest who was going to talk more, Mike and myself. But the reality is it really started out as the Village of Mamaroneck St. Patrick's Day Parade. And what it's morphed into is even more important now, what we're doing with the craziness that's happening in a division and a split in this country. What we are really enjoying is a real true sense of community. Not only just the Village of Mamaroneck, but this is morphed into representing New Rochelle, Larchmont, Mamaroneck, Rye, Harrison. And it's true because we have a wonderful community. While one of the main purposes, obviously, of the St. Patrick's Day Parade is to celebrate Irish culture, which is true. But there's this very subtle message in that everybody becomes Irish on St. Patrick's Day Parade. It's a sense of community. It's a sense of remembering one's culture and that we are, in fact, a very melting pot. And the Irish certainly have a great history in that, particularly in the village of Mamaroneck. So, and that's why on that day, my name will be Mayor Rosenblum, and we will go on. And with that, the biggest thing you do as a mayor or an elected official is learn not to talk too much. So, Michael or Jenny, why don't you take over and give your, as the PR person for the Sound Shore Committee, which is very important.
Yes, well, Mr. Mayor, on behalf of the Sound Shore St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee, I thank you for having Jenny and myself on the show today talking about the parade. We're delighted to be here and delighted to talk about the parade, which you're right, it is a terrific opportunity to not only celebrate Irish heritage, but also to make it a community event, particularly at this time in our United States here, we're experiencing, we're at a time where we need to bring people together, and you know, the parade exemplifies the fact that we are a nation of immigrants. Is that right, Jenny?
That's right.
Can I take this off right now? Now, she has this great scarf on. I thought, I have nothing on that's green, so I thought I'd.
That's good. You're forgiven, that's right.
It was a good tie.
Yeah.
Myself, this is my first year being part of the parade and the committee. I've been brought up in an Irish traditions in my family, so I just was looking forward to joining the committee here and seeing how everyone in Westchester, especially the Sound Shore, really gets into celebrating Irish heritage on what better day than to have a parade.
Not only a better day, but there's no better place to march in a St. Patrick's Day Parade. If you can't be in Dublin or marching down Fifth Avenue, but marching down Mamaroneck Avenue, it's a terrific place.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Yes.
And that's why I keep bragging about, quote, the friendly village of Mamaroneck is rated #1 several different times. But more than that, like I said, I really think it's important that there's so many different aspects to the St. Patrick's Day Parade as it's grown. And I would mention before I forget, particularly that it's somewhat unusual to have a woman as the Grand Marshal. I could not think of a more perfect person, not because she's a woman, but because Valerie O'Keefe is the prime example of someone who's involved in the public, who is involved in the welfare of the community, vis-a-vis her 10 years as supervisor of the town of Mamaroneck. And they have a nice Irish Catholic girl who is the head of the Holocaust and Human Rights and Education Center. I mean, she's just such a beautiful person, and that she would be celebrating this as the Grand Marshal. I think that the committee did a great job in picking her out. And before I forget, I will note, I brought it up last night at the village board meeting, that during the parade on the 19th, that from as soon as you go past the bridge by Halston Avenue to the Boston Post Road, you'll see a sign, Valerie Moore O'Keefe, or maybe Valerie O'Keefe Way during the parade, which would be great.
Terrific.
And it's a well-deserved honor for her.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
So, which is good.
Yeah, we're delighted to have Valerie as the Grand Marshal. I mean, it is the year of the woman. It really is. You know, we had the first woman run for president of the United States, and here we have the first woman who is the Grand Marshal of the Sound Shore St. Patrick's Day Parade. If I might say, you know, she's had I've heard people say that you may not agree with her politics, but you have to appreciate and admire the fact that she is a dedicated public servant to making this area a great place to live. So it's
absolutely. She represents, I think, what I was talking about before. Of course, it's a celebration of Irish culture, but she was born and brought up in this area. She certainly represents Irish culture, but she also expands, as been proven by her entire record, that she's just a fantastic person, and she will certainly represent the entire community aside from the Irish community. There's no doubt about that.
Sure, and if you don't know Valerie, if your audience doesn't know her, they can always listen to her on WVOX. She has that radio show with Ken Bialo,
right.
Yes, on Tuesdays, 9 o'clock,
yeah.
And she's feisty as heck.
Right.
So,
right. And not shy, not
No,
shy at
no,
all. Very
Meeting
good.
her at the dinner dance that we had a few weeks ago, it was really nice to hear, as being a woman who discusses all of her Irish heritage and how she really enjoys being a part of the community and how she helped everybody, and just the stories that she told from, stories from Brooklyn and everything else. And she really just had a deep understanding of what it is for the Irish culture, especially being a woman.
And she is somewhat of a historian also.
Mm-hmm.
She can tell you about different places. It's great. Another aspect that a lot of people may or may not know about, and you can even talk about how to get to apply for it, is that one of the reasons, aside from the enjoyment and the celebration of the Irish culture, are the scholarships that you've given out and continue to give out. Once you
well, ever since the inception of the parade, well, actually, part of the reason for the parade, obviously, to have a great time. I mean, everybody loves a parade. It's a community event. It celebrates Irish heritage. It celebrates the immigrant in our country, but it's also to raise money for scholarship funds for students that have an interest in Irish heritage. And since the inception of the parade, we've given out close to $18,000 in scholarship funds. And that's a great part of the parade that a lot of people don't know about. If I make a shout out for the Taphouse, Sedona Taphouse, they have their Monday Night Madness, or their Monday Madness, where they give their $6 steak, and if you go and buy that steak, they'll donate $1 in the month of March for the St. Patrick's Day Parade Scholarship Fund. So we're
it's a great
delighted
program.
about that. Yep.
As a matter of fact, I know they've done several. The last one they did right before this was the LMC-TV, and they raised over $1,000. So it's great.
That's great.
So,
it's great
and you
to
can
see
try.
people
I
do
tell you,
that.
it's a great steak.
Yeah.
And you can't beat it for $6.
There you
It's
go.
amazing. Even if you're on a diet, it doesn't matter.
So, last year, the winners of the scholarship were two young ladies from New Rochelle High School. And I tell you, the things that they were involved with, and not only promoting Irish heritage, but just, community involvement, volunteerism and stuff like that, they were terrific. Really were exemplary. So we're looking forward to giving away, I believe, 2 more scholarships this year.
And we wanted to stress that it goes from Pelham to Portchester.
Right.
So
Thank you very
all
much.
of the Sound Shore community school districts have the ability just to, sign up for it and see if they have what it takes to become the recipient of the next year's scholarship fund from the
And
parade.
what's the website that can go on, or Facebook, either one?
Well, our website, it's not on, it must be, I think it's on the sign right there. If you go, look, if you flash the sign right up there in front of the table here, you'll see it's www.soundshoreparade.com. Now, the interesting thing about going onto the website, you not only can find out about the scholarship fund and also how a student might apply for the scholarship, but there's a number of ways that people can get involved in the parade. I mean, well, of course, we need people to watch the parade. We'd like people to come out, and the parade's going to be the March 19th, 1:30 p.m. down Mamaroneck Avenue. Starts up at Mamaroneck School, Avenue School, right? And all these years, it's still hard to say Mamaroneck. Right?
There's a lot in there.
A lot in there. So starts right there. It goes all the way down to the harbor. We need people to watch the parade and to cheer the people on that are marching. But if you want to march, you can go to the website and find out how you can get information to march by yourself, join a group, or have your group come in and march.
We also accept donations. The scholarship fund is about $2,500 per student. But if we get more of a following, hopefully maybe next year we can donate more for the scholarship fund. So the more donations that we get as a committee, the more that we are able to send to the scholarship fund and hopefully give someone a chance to really use what they've learned on their Irish heritage.
It's interesting how it's grown from the beginning. That I know you live in Harrison, so how did you sort of get involved because it sort of represents what the expansion is, as you say, from Pelham to Portchester.
Yep, I came up to Harrison about 4 years ago. I moved up from Long Island, and I just started to look around to see if there would be a group that I could join that would also be interested in Irish culture and everything else. And I actually logged on to Facebook and found the Sound Shore Committee. And within 45 minutes of the email I sent, I got an invitation to my first meeting. And I was just so thrilled. And since then, we've been doing our meetings and fundraising ever since.
And,
so
and
it really has
she's
been.
a television star.
Yeah.
So.
Who knew?
Right, correct. Well, I thought it's very important also that it highlights not only everyone in the community, but the Irish impact on the community, whether it be Molly Spillane's or Murphy Brothers, a lot of other. You look at the history in the Village Romantic, you can go back. So there's a long history in the Village Romantic that fits in with the quilt of America, the melting pot quilt of America. It's the fabric that we all celebrate, whether you're talking about. I don't think there's anyone here other than an American Indian. There used to be a few in Mamaroneck when I was a kid. I don't think they exist anymore. So everybody is, if not first, second, definitely third generation immigrant.
Well, as
So
the
that's
the first village cheerleader, you've it's a
Absolutely.
great place to live.
Right. The only reason that I don't have my pom-poms is because, I'd pull a mic out. But one of the other things is that there is competition on the St. Patrick's Day parades. I know that. There are certain things that people may or may know about. I don't think you'll ever see a St. Patrick's Day where it would take away from people attending St. Patrick's Church because, Josh Bishop wouldn't allow that. But there's always a history that if you have a local St. Patrick's Day parade, you never have it on the same day as the St. Patrick's Day parade in New York.
Mm-hmm.
It's a verboten. One, because you're not going to get any marching bands.
Yep.
Now, what happened, I know in the very beginning there was some competition. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe, second only to the St. Patrick's Day parade in New York City, the St. Patrick's Sound Shore Parade is now one of the leading, if not the leading, St. Patrick's Day parade in Westchester County, and we want to get into the different divisions that now the people are looking, they want to participate in the same, the marching parades, the bagpipes, and so on. Why don't you go over and tell how great this parade is?
Well, we do have, besides the escort division, there are 6 divisions altogether besides that. Everybody from every single fire department in the area will be in that parade. Plus, we'll have the O'Rourke Irish Dancers will be there. We'll have the Lynn Academy of Irish Dance. We'll have the Mamaroneck High School baseball and the hockey team. How about that?
Right.
We have the Girl Scout troops. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Girl Scout troops. We have a Daisy troop. We have the Eastchester Irish American Social Club, the Empire Pipes and Drums. Let's see. We've got Boy Scouts. We've got LMC-TV and classic cars. But it's interesting. It's a great day for politicians, no matter what side of the aisle they're on. We'll all be there, and it's terrific.
And walking
we'll
together.
We'll have, Nancy Seligson from the Town of Mamaroneck will be there with the town board, and we'll have the Village of Mamaroneck board will be there, who I want to say unanimously supports the parade, which
Absolutely.
is terrific.
The support has been
Nice to
wonderful.
have there. Senator George Latimer, our State Assemblyman Stephen Otis, we'll have Catherine Parker will be there, our county legislator. I even think that Rob Astorino, our county executive, will be there as well. So,
He has attended.
yes, he
every one,
has,
I believe.
and you know that.
I know I have a picture with him riding with both the green shirts on. So.
Of course, leading the parade will be our Grand Marshal, Mrs. Valerie O'Keefe, who will be in the lead car there, and there'll be other people. The committee will be marching.
Yep.
Jane will be marching. Of course, I won't be marching. I'll be doing the LMC-TV broadcast, as I've done for the last couple of years, trying to become the Regis Philbin of the LMC-TV parade.
Where's that going to be located, by the way? Do you know?
Front of our Tursos.
Artusos.
Yeah,
Okay, right.
so-
That's for the last time, yeah.
Right. Hopefully, it's on the sunny side of the street this year.
Right.
That seems
In past
the
years,
draw
it's been
of
very
the
cold.
parade, everything on the sunny
Yeah.
side of the street.
So, but
Well-
we like to stress that the parade it's the Sound Shore St. Patrick's Day parade, not the Mamaroneck parade,
Right.
although it is
Correct.
in the greatest street to march in a parade, Mamaroneck Avenue, but it's the Sound Shore from Portchester all the way down to Pelham. And this is the 6th year, and we're starting to get more people, like Jenny has been here. She's also involved from Harrison. That we want to see people in the parade from Portchester to Pelham. It'd be great to have community representation all the way up and down the Sound Shore. we'd love to see in the future, because you know what we say about St. Patrick's Day, we say everybody's Irish, right, Mr. Mayor?
Correct.
It's
Or Rosenblum.
That's right,
my
or
name during the
Rosenblum.
day.
And we'd love to see the klezmer band from the Westchester Day School march, and we'd like to see the mariachi band from Portchester marching down in the parade. It'd be terrific. They can play When Irish Eyes Are Smiling. It'd be wonderful.
Well, it's also, if you walk, different parades and everything else, you see walking down. But the greatest pleasure I get is watching the kids. Because what we see as adults and everything else, kids have a very different viewpoint. And it's very important for them to realize that it's a celebration. It's good to celebrate one's culture, regardless of what it is. The Village Mamaroneck certainly represents that true melting pot. I've said it all along. I think we're probably the most, other than New York City, we're probably the most diverse community in Westchester. And we're very similar. Portchester is similar to the Village of Mamaroneck. You go down to Pelham, of course, the population is slightly smaller, but again, it's Americana at its best. You just can't go wrong. Even marching up and down, after it's over, they have the tent down in Harbor Island for the marchers. People get very happy and enjoy it. They'll end up probably in Molly Spillane's. But I can tell you the last time, aside from Molly's in the tent, you go up and down Mamaroneck Avenue, and every restaurant that's open, every store that's open is jam-packed. People come up from the city by train, bus, and it'll be from Portchester to Pelham again. So
Yeah,
it's great.
well, we're thrilled to have the support, the full support of the Chamber of Commerce of Mamaroneck for the parade, and we're encouraging people that once the parade is over to take advantage of the wonderful restaurants that we have in the village. I mean, here you're marching in the St. Patrick's Day parade or watching one, and you can have Mexican food after that, or you can have Asian food, or you can go to a French restaurant. We have all kinds of restaurants on the avenue. That is truly kind of like the melting pot of the area right there. It represents it all. So, or you can go to Molly Spillane's or the Taphouse or one of the other places around the area here. So
That's great. Any other specific, get that word out, of the marching bands that are coming? I know a lot of people look for like the PBA from New York City.
they'll be here. Yes.
The Emerald, I think, from Westchester County.
Pipes and Drums of the
The New
Police
York City,
Admiral
right?
Society of Westchester. There's so many I can't even, I had to bring the list with me. We have the New York, NYPD Admiral Society Pipes and Drums. Pretty good. It does say here the Village of Mamaroneck Mayor and the Board of Trustees. It's terrific, all marching together. Sure.
That's a different kind of music.
Oh,
We'll
yes.
leave that for later.
Can't wait for that. We have the Marching Cobras. Be careful of them. So, and Knights of Columbus. We have the DSNY, Emerald Society Pipes and Drums. We have Jim Caloran and Fire. They're always good to watch. They're going to be terrific.
Jim Caloran is a former...
A former Grand Marshal.
right.
That's right. We've had a illustrious history of Grand
Ken
Marshals.
Plunkett.
Who knows? One year it might be you.
Could be.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll have to get my cousin, Mayor Briscoe, to come over if he's
There you
still
go.
alive.
From Ireland. Yes,
Right.
that's right. Yeah.
Lord High Mayor of Dublin, correct. Well, we can certainly look to this enjoyment. I would note that the first parade is always the best. It was 70 degrees. We don't know what it's going to be on the 19th. We expect to be on the 19th. There is an alternative, as you noted at the board meeting. Keeping our fingers crossed, a little Irish luck. Fully expect to have everyone enjoy it on the 19th.
Well, the prayers have been offered up already, am I right?
Right.
That's true,
100%.
yes.
Yes.
Both,
So
St.
we will
Vito's,
be on
the
the
temple,
19th.
you name
the
it,
whole
St.
thing.
Patrick's.
Yes, so we've
right.
covered
We're covering
everyone,
everybody, all the
denomination.
streets and everything else. So you're inviting all your friends from Harrison to come, of course.
I have that whole side of the Sound Shore taken care of. I have Rye, Portchester, Harrison, and hopefully I also have some people from Long Island,
Oh, good.
New
That's
York
even better.
City,
Right. New York,
Queens.
good.
So hopefully it'll be a great turnout, and everyone really seems to be looking forward to it.
We better be on our best behavior.
I have to show
absolutely.
everybody why I moved up here, so let's
Right,
see how
that's
it
good.
goes.
Well, I'd also like to thank Murphy Brothers because they have been hosting all the meetings. I was fortunate to be invited to a few of them to help coordinate this. Again, and Murphy Brothers, I believe, also born and grew up in this area. And I know, reading some of the history, they started their construction in the woods when they were kids, so it's very good. They got
That's
a
story.
good start.
Yeah, right.
It's great. So it's just a great time to be Irish in the village of Mamaroneck, and we look forward to it. You can make any wrap-up comments, and also just remind you how to make a contribution. Go to the website and the purpose, and just come and enjoy yourself. So
That's it. On the website, you'll be able to donate whatever amount you would like to. We have certain sponsor levels that you can have, anywhere from a sign up to a sign on Mamaroneck Avenue during the parade. And I believe there are some other amounts that you can do, of a higher level sponsor if you wish. And
that's all on the website.
That's all on the website. So you can just go, you can do it right there on the website. You can go to the Facebook page, and they'll just walk you through it.
Yeah, so you want to know, we want everybody to come out and watch the parade. So the parade starts at 1:30, March 19th. It's a Sunday, going to be a beautiful Sunday, by Mamaroneck Avenue School. Marching all the way, you can take your spot, any spot you want there, over by Halsted Avenue or someplace in front, maybe Roberts or someplace like that on the avenue. Find your spot. You can be across from Molly Spillane's. Watch the parade, or if you've got an itch to march, we'd love to have you come out and march. So, like, you know how much fun that is.
Absolutely.
So you can go to the website, soundshoreparade.com, and you'll find out what information you need to march, who to contact. And as Jenny said, donations are always accepted for the scholarship funds. So we thank you for that. We are a nonprofit charitable organization, and there'll be tax-deductible donations for the scholarship funds. So that's terrific.
Great. So I just remind everybody, the Monday nights during March, go to the Taphouse so you can make a donation to the Sound Shore.
That's it.
Great
St.
steak.
Patrick's Day Parade. It's a great steak, is correct. I'd also like to thank LMC-TV, who is probably
Absolutely.
the only real true source of news in the village of Mamaroneck.
Right.
And the
Terrific.
surrounding areas, actually the Sound Shore.
They're Irish on St. Patrick's Day.
Absolutely.
Every one of
them. Absolutely. And I believe Dina and her whole family will be marching, so we look forward to that. And just have a great time. And hopefully we can intersperse, we have enough time to show some of the old parades on this program, so it'd be great. Yep. But other than that, thank you very much, and it is always a pleasure with you guys. It's fantastic. I thank you.
Thank you very
on behalf
much.
of the village and the Sound Shore.
Thank you,
Look
Mr.
forward
Mayor.
to it.